All right, time to scratch Colin's itch and talk some Arkansas football. South Carolina heads to Fayetteville to take on Arkansas. Arkansas, 8.5 point favorite here. Has held pretty steady this week, over under 53. Curious just to get your take here. If you have any updates on some of the Arkansas injuries, and what are your thoughts?
Well, Miles Slusher and Jalen Catalon are still hurt. And Pittman said earlier today, it was Thursday, we're recording this. Pittman said earlier today, we're still trying to find a plan for how those two get back on the field. So that doesn't give me a whole lot of confidence. They have moved some players around in the secondary, but there's a lot of problems on this defense. And not just the injuries that are happening in now the back seven, not the back eight. Besides those injuries that are happening where players are starting to rotate around, this defensive line got no pressure whatsoever on Cincinnati. As a matter of fact, Cincinnati screwed themselves out of that game last week. They should have covered that game, probably should have gone to overtime. They should have had a chance to win. I believe they got down to the goal. I think they penaltied themselves all the way back to the 40. Just a really rough.
And couldn't make a kick.
Couldn't make a kick, which would have made the cover and everybody wouldn't get paid except for Brett McMurphy, who took Arkansas on the show. So, there are problems with Arkansas's defense from an injury standpoint in the back, from the fact that it's just ineffective on the front. That 3-man front they've been running all these years, gone. 4-man front. And now Isaiah Nichols, the guy that was picked to be the nickel. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. Isaiah Nichols, the guy that was picked to be the nose tackle, he may be hurt and not playing either. So when you turn to the other side of the ball, you got KJ Jefferson limping around at the end of the Cincinnati game. You've got Dominique Johnson not cleared yet at running back to come back in. It's really this elite offensive line and the Raheem Rocket Sanders running show. Now, that is going to dominate South Carolina. Why? This may be the worst trench on both sides of the ball in the SEC. That offensive line can't protect Spencer Rattler at all.
Vandy would like a word.
Vandy would like a word. Watch out for them this weekend, by the way, with Wake and everything. But, the offensive line can't protect Spencer Rattler. The defensive line can't get any pressure, and they can't handle the run blocking of Arkansas. I would go right now, as we're sitting this, I would go under 53. I think it's Arkansas lining up and running the ball over and over and over. AJ Green is getting a ton of touches in practice. Pittman has said he is the speediest back that Arkansas has. I would be a little nervous about laying 8 or 9 with an Arkansas team that is probably going to have a 14-point lead, and then South Carolina is going to get it to 7. 14-point lead, get it back to 7. I think you're flipping coins at that point. Under is the best bet for me because I don't see anything flashy out of Arkansas this week. It's just line up, run them over, and try to get healthy because from a defensive standpoint, they're hurt.
Yeah, that would be the only thing that scared me because as soon as those injuries happened, you saw the Cincy offense, just that guy's wide open, communication issues. That would be my concern there. All right, let's cover our final game of the rundown.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Georgia State outgained South Carolina.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler only hit half his passes. Georgia State should have won that game. I know
South Carolina had 250-plus yard field goals, so that's something to watch. Their special teams. And they also scored 2 touchdowns off block punts. So 20 of their points came on block punts or 50-plus yard field goals.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
And
Georgia State opened that game by turning it over on downs inside the South Carolina 10. I don't hate the under.